with the action, with the unison, with the supreme energy. So where we all enjoy the peace. Peace does not mean void or just a loneliness. Peace is with a happiness, like when the birds are whispering and you listen to the birds and then you become one with the bird, that is a peace. So we all together, when we happy, that is peace. So peace common to earth, peace common to air, to water, to ether, and all the elements what we are around. Om, peace, peace, peace.
In my tradition, I would begin by saying, peace be with you, and the answer would be, and also with you. So peace be with you. Thank you, and thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is Rob. I come from the Presbyterian tradition, and I simply want to say that in my understanding, there is no single thing on this planet right now that demands more of our courage and attention and intentionality and peace as addressing the healing of our earth. Because the healing of the earth is healing of ourselves and our communities, and especially as we think about climate change, we need a lot of courage and we need one another. So I'm grateful to see this circle, which is a testimony to the ways of peace in the world. So I simply want to share a simple song, and I hope that you can sing along with me as you catch it. This comes from the Taizé tradition of our Catholic sisters and brothers in France. It is a change of words to a simple song. The song is, "The Lord is my light," and the words here go, "The earth is a gift, and every living thing, let us take care, let us be aware." The earth is a gift, and every living thing, let us take care, let us be aware. The earth is a gift, and every living thing, let us take care, let us be aware. The earth is a gift, and every living thing, let us take care, let us be aware. The earth is a gift, and every living thing, let us take care, let us be aware. Friends, it takes courage to stand up and sing these songs in front of a world that sometimes doesn't listen or care. So let us take care, let us find strength in one another, and again, peace be with you.
I give greetings from the Ali, Ziad, and Benjamin family. I thought it was symbolic that my daughter wore this shirt today of peace, and so I'm giving her as an offer to all of you. Say assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
No, I actually asked my husband Wali, who is also a singer, known on the national circuit for his words within Islam, and also an imam, to give our offering of prayer.
Assalamu alaikum. That is, peace be on you, or may the peace that only God can give you be with you. I will be reading from Surah chapter 114 of the Holy Quran. It's called Mankind. And in the spirit of mankind and taking care of the earth, we have to remember that we are earth too. We come from the earth and we're going back to the earth. And if you don't take care of yourself, then you're not taking care of the earth. I'm going to read it in Arabic and then I'm going to read it in English. A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Qul a'udhu bi rabbin nas, malikin nas, إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. And the English is, with Allah's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer, say, I seek refuge in the Lord of mankind, the sovereign of mankind. Got a phone call. The God of mankind, from evil of the retreating whisperer, who whispers evil into the breast of mankind from among jinn and mankind. Thank you.
Broke the microphone. Oh, I fixed the microphone. My name is Chris. I am an atheist and a secular humanist. I work for the Humanist Chaplaincy at Harvard University. Thank you all so much for coming out today and for giving me a moment to share with you. So, we live in an increasingly globalized, interconnected world, and this is a good thing. This has allowed for human achievement. This has allowed us to accomplish things that we could never have dreamed of even 100 years ago. It's given me this, which I'm constantly on because I can't stand to be away from technology for more than an hour or two. And though it is a good thing because it allows me to remain connected with people who live on the other side of the world. It allows me to increase understanding between myself and those who have completely different lives than I do. It also inhibits life in some ways. You know, a few years ago, I joined a group of other interfaith activists for a retreat in Connecticut called Common Grounds to address environmental sustainability from people's different faith and philosophical perspectives. But the fact that we needed to retreat, that we needed to leave the city and go out into nature, suggests that we live lives that are disconnected from the natural world. The fact that we even call it the natural world suggests that there's a separation between us and between the world around us. And as a humanist, I recognize that it's easy to sort of privilege humans, to think about our human needs first, to think about how we care for ourselves, how we care for our fellow humans, and to neglect the planet or to do it at the expense of the natural world. But I think just as humanism affirms our capabilities, it affirms all of the accomplishments that we can do as human beings, it also affirms our ability and our responsibility to care for the earth, to care for other human beings and other living creatures. So, as a humanist, I'm grateful to be a part of this and other efforts to care for the planet and recognize that it is our responsibility as human beings to do so. Thank you.
Okay. I'm Jano, and I'm here representing the Baha'i community. The principal teaching of the Baha'i faith is unity. It's the unity of humanity, and I wanted to share one teaching from Baha'u'llah, the founder, which is that the force that binds the atoms and the heart of the atom together is the same force that binds our human hearts together. This is an important year for us. It's the 100th anniversary of the visit of Abdul Baha, the son of the founder of our faith, to America. And I'd like to share with you a prayer that he wrote for us. O thou kind Lord, this gathering is turning to thee. These hearts are radiant with thy love. These minds and spirits are exhilarated by the message of thy glad tidings. O God, let this American democracy become glorious in spiritual degrees, even as it has aspired to material degrees, and render this just government victorious. Confirm this revered nation to upraise the standard of the oneness of humanity, to promulgate the most great peace, to become thereby most glorious and praiseworthy among all nations of the world. O God, this American nation is worthy of thy favors and is deserving of thy mercy. Make it precious and near to thee through thy bounty and bestowal.
My name is Wayne Stevenson. I was raised in the evangelical Christian tradition, and I'm now a student of Zen Buddhism. And if that's not a big enough leap for you, I'm going to read some Henry David Thoreau. It would be a stretch to suggest that Henry Thoreau was a Buddhist, although we know that he was familiar with certain Buddhist texts in translation. But nevertheless, I think of him as a kind of, I'm sorry, but a kind of Zen poet. He was one who perceived the paramount spiritual significance of the present moment. Or in another context, what one of his 20th century readers, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., called the fierce urgency of now. Thoreau calls on us to wake up to our immediate surroundings, human and wild, and to engage the world right where we are, right now, with compassion for all living things. In his great essay, Walking, Thoreau wrote, "Above all, we cannot afford not to live in the present. Unless our philosophy hears the cock crow in every barnyard within our horizon, it is belated. There is something suggested by it that is a newer testament, the gospel according to this moment." In the second chapter of Walden, Where I Lived and What I Lived For, he writes, "God himself culminates in the present moment and will never be more divine in the lapse of all the ages. And we are enabled to apprehend at all what is sublime and noble only by the perpetual instilling and drenching of the reality that surrounds us. Let us live one day as deliberately as nature. Let us settle ourselves and work and wedge our feet downward through the mud and slush of opinion and prejudice and tradition and delusion and appearance, through church and state, through poetry and philosophy and religion, until we come to a hard bottom with rocks in place where we can say, which we can call reality, and say, this is, and no mistake." And yet, let's never forget that Thoreau's spiritual awakening in nature led him back to society and politics. He passionately opposed slavery, the great human moral crisis of his day, as global warming is the great human moral crisis of ours. And he opposed it not only with words, but with actions. He was actively involved in the Underground Railroad. He sheltered runaway slaves. For Thoreau, living in harmony with nature meant acting in solidarity with his fellow human beings. I keep coming back to this passage from the end of, near the end of his great abolitionist address, Slavery in Massachusetts. "I walked toward one of our ponds, but what signifies the beauty of nature when men are base? Who can be serene in a country where both the rulers and the ruled are without principle? The remembrance of my country spoils my walk." But it